Most of the students, they don't choose a country, they react to the noise. Canada PR is easy, US salaries are the highest, Germany is free, UK is 1 year so cheap, and suddenly a 30 to 40 lakhs of decision becomes a WhatsApp discussion. And that's dangerous because country is not a trend decision, it's a probability decision. Hi, I'm Simran, and in this video I want to give you a full framework on how to choose a right country for your masters. Not based on the hype, not based on the rankings, not based on what your friends did, but based on structure and data. So let's slow this down. Step 1 is profile country alignment. Every country rewards different strengths. The US values strong academics, research depth, projects, and clarity, whereas Germany values technical rigor and academic consistency. And the UK looks closely at the academic performance and the program fit. Canada evaluates overall profile but is very sensitive to the visa trends and caps. The question is not which country is best, the question is which country rewards my profile the most. If your CGPA is 7.2 with decent projects, applying aggressively to the top US universities may push you into 20 to 30% probability band. But the same profile might sit into 50 to 60% probability band in UK. Did you see the shift? We moved from opinion to probability. Second, total cost versus your realistic ROI. Students obsess over the tuition fee, but tuition itself is not your overall cost. Your total cost is tuition plus living expenses plus currency risk plus the opportunity cost. A 1 year UK degree may look cheaper, but if the job conversion is uncertain, the ROI drops. Germany may have the low tuition, but if language limits your mobility, that affects your return. And the US may cost more upfront, but higher salary in the tech can change your equation. So instead of asking which country is cheap, ask in this country with my profile, what is my realistic earning probability? ROI is not just about highest salary on Google, it's about your expected outcome. Third, visa stability and policy risk. And this is where the emotions spike. One news headline and everybody panics. Politics change, caps get introduced, rules tighten. So instead of reacting, you evaluate trend stability and how dependent is the country on international students. How predictable are my post-study work options? What is the historical visa approval trend? I know uncertainty increases stress. And remember, structured evaluation reduces it. Fourth, competition density. Some countries attract extremely high quality applicant pools. So if you're competing in an ecosystem where 80% of the profiles have more than 8.5 GPA and strong internships, your probability shifts automatically. It's not about confidence, it's about relative strength. Always remember that you are not evaluated in isolation. You are evaluated against the pool. So choosing a country is also choosing your competition. Fifth, long-term flexibility. That means where do you see yourself in 5 years? Settling abroad, moving to India, or moving across geographies. The US job market is dynamic but visa dependent. Canada offers immigration pathways but slower salary growth in some sectors. The UK offers shorter programs but tighter job windows. Germany offers stability but requires language and cultural adaptation. So there is no perfect country, there is only country profile fit. Now let me bring a structure to this. When we evaluate students inside Epischolar, we don't start with country preferences. We start with profile strength scoring, academic depth, experience quality, clarity of direction, and financial comfort band. Then we map probability bands country-wise. In some countries, a student sits in dream category, which is 20 to 30%, in others target, which is 40 to 60%, and in some safe, which is 70% plus. So same student, different country, different probability. And this is why random country selection creates stress, because subconsciously you know that you are guessing. And guessing 40 lakhs creates pressure on your parents as well, apart from pressure on yourself and pressure on every direction. We know the problem is not lack of ambition, it's the lack of structured information, and that's exactly why we built Epischolar. And students don't need more top 5 countries video. They need clarity on where do I stand, where do I win, and what improves my odds. And when you see your probability mapped clearly, the confusion reduces. And when the confusion reduces, the confidence increases. So before you choose a country, take a pause, ask yourself, which country aligns more with my profile strength? Where is my target band strongest? What is my realistic ROI probability? How stable is the policy environment? And am I choosing it because of the right data, right information, or just the noise outside? So if you're serious about applying this year, don't start with country trends. Start with your profile evaluation. And we have structured this entire framework inside our platform. So you can see your strength, probability bands, and your country alignment very clearly. The link is in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want structured clarity rather than random noise. I'll see you in the next video.